25 insane ways to use command blocks in Minecraft. Command blocks are capable of some pretty amazing things, all of which is possible in vanilla Minecraft, even if it sometimes looks like mods. And that's what we'll see today. Number 1. Over the years, Minecraft skeletons have seemed to get better at aiming, which is great for them and bad for us. So if you want to have an easier time dodging and look cool while doing it, then this is well worth a shot. See, with these command blocks, we can essentially rewrite how the arrows move, letting us get away scot-free and leaving the skeletons confused as to what happened. So for whatever reason you can't get a copy of Superhot on your device, now at least you got a solid demo to try out. Number 2. Minecraft's a world made of blocks. Not circles, not triangles, but blocks. Which is great, but it makes a site like this look even more cursed. Though while this might seem like some wacky mod, it's actually all possible within vanilla. As the Minecraft genius Seth Bling shows, using a mixture of invisible shulkers and armor stands, we can create a fairly convincing 45-degree slope in our world. And while some of the blocks like diamond ore don't work quite right, it is still impressive to see just how much is possible here, even if it does feel illegal to watch. Number 3. Clearly, command blocks are capable of some pretty wild things, but what this user pulls off feels like an act of science fiction. See, what's happening here is that the machine can scan the blocks within the area, assign them to a particle, and then recreate a copy down below, meaning you only have to build one big statue and you get a little souvenir for the same effort. And even better, it'll even rotate for a proper display, which I've got to say is a lot more exciting than just another static statue. Number 4. A TNT explosion can pack quite a punch, but while that's already true, we can dial it up a notch. So what if instead of just destroying the blocks, it also launched the debris? Well, the results can get pretty ridiculous, and it makes blowing up your friend's base even more gratifying. So if you're looking to cause some proper chaos on the server, this is a solid option for sure. Just make sure your computer's strong enough to handle it. Otherwise, that house won't be the only thing that's going up in smoke. Number 5. Now, whether you call this GIF or GIF, chances are we've all seen them. And while they're commonplace, in Minecraft, they're a lot more rare, which makes this item frame a real sight to see. Though what's crazier still is that this is all done without using any mods, meaning we can not only play these animations within our world, but we can also record some of our own as well. And while I wouldn't use this to record your next hardcore Let's Play, it's still an amazing feat of Minecraft engineering, and it offers up some hilarious gags as well. Number 6. By this point, we've all seen the Easter egg for naming a mob Dinnerbone, but this time, instead of just turning the mob upside down, it also changed the gravity to boot, which is definitely a wild sight. And yet, it's also surprisingly simple to pull off. See, all that's happening here is that we have a repeating command block that constantly checks for any mobs named Dinnerbone, and then when it finds one, it applies the levitation effect, and poof, they're off just like that, giving us quite the harmless prank to use next time your friend's online. Number 7. Complex doors are a staple of the redstone community, but while Mundo can show you how to make 40 of those in a couple minutes, I bet you won't see one of these too often. And folks, your eyes don't deceive you. This is built entirely within vanilla Minecraft, albeit it did take the creator around 1200 command blocks to build, but the result of which is still pretty special. And honestly, I wouldn't even know where to start building one of these. But luckily, the smooth animation is something that we can all enjoy through the world download. Number 8. If you look at a sheep, it doesn't seem like the smartest of mobs, but what if I told you that these things are actually masters of disguise? Or at least they will be. See, by setting up the command blocks that we have here, our sheep turn from mindless mobs into proper chameleons, being able to blend in with their surroundings like so. And while they probably don't run across colors this vibrant in the wild, it is still cool to see this effect in action. And honestly, it's a lot more unique than just yet another sheep named Jeb. Number 9. Steve's addition to Smash Bros was a huge deal, and not just to see this character rise from a solo-made indie game into legend status, but also just to see how cool it'd be if minecarts worked like this instead of this. And since that reveal trailer, it's been not just a want, but a need to have this in the base game, and thankfully we have just that. With commands, we not only have a minecart that can place rails in front of it, but it'll also ride across water, lava, and even different dimensions, which is just insane. Number 10. Parkour is a pretty straightforward concept. You have a goal and you have to jump to get there. I mean, it's not rocket science. But to spice up that idea, we need to talk about parallel universes, or more specifically, using command blocks to jump between two realities like so. See, as it's laid out, we not only have to make sure where we land our jump, but also switch to the right clock to make the blocks appear. And if you ask me, that really takes your jumping puzzle to another level, literally. Number 11. Building a house is a tale as old as time in Minecraft, but having the game build house for you is a bit more exciting. That's why this display of a house built entirely of falling blocks is so wild to see. What's happening here is that we have a command block array perfectly timed to launch each and every block into its respective place, until it finally gives us our finished result. And full disclosure, for this to work, you will need a flat surface. Otherwise, those building blocks will just collide with one another and fall right off course. Number 12. Picture the situation. You're walking around your world, axe in hand, and then, right as you go to close your door after you enter, you accidentally strip the logs on the side. It's an annoyance for sure, but thankfully, not a permanent one, since with this set of commands provided, we get a vanilla-friendly way to fix our mistakes. And now, when you use your axe on a log, you'll get the bark back as an item. And from there, we can patch it up, and no one will ever have to know about that mistake. Number 13. Building in Minecraft is an art form, and like any art form, you're bound to make mistakes. So to simplify that process, it'd be nice to have some kind of way to undo and redo the blocks that we place. That way, any time spent on making a mistake doesn't have to mean time spent fixing it. But this is that fix. And here, all we have to do is click how many blocks we want to undo from the history in the chat, and boom, it's as simple as that. So even if this only makes it easier for me to fix that circle I built lopsided, that's plenty well for me. Number 14. Shooting a bow in Minecraft is a good skill to have, but figuring out where that arrow is going to land is tough to train, so that's where this comes in. See, as this user shows, we can use command blocks to set up an indicator of where the projectile will land using a simulated trajectory. And while the science to pull this off is a lot of math that goes over my head, it is a useful tool if you ever need to prepare for a sniper duel, letting us turn that boring physics homework into an exciting real-world demonstration. Number 15. Sometimes when you're fighting a creeper, it's bound to explode, which is fine, accidents happen, but it's no treat having to fill in the newly exposed creeper hole by yourself. So instead, wouldn't it be nice if the world just did it for you? Well, that's not as crazy as it sounds. See, the idea here is that any creeper explosion is fully repaired like so, even including chests filled with items, which in my eyes is a lot more interesting than just setting the mob griefing game rule to false. And it definitely looks cooler. Number 16. When you're building in Minecraft, it's nice to use a bit of variation to improve your build, but deliberately placing blocks randomly is hard to do. And oftentimes, doing it wrong can leave a build looking noisy and unfocused. So for an easier time, this tool might help out your next creative build. See, the way that it works is that our hotbar slot will constantly rotate to a different block, meaning all we have to do is hold down the right click and the rest will be solved for us, letting us get the results without the stress that comes with. Number 17. Shulkers are an invaluable item to have when it comes to storing your stuff. But what if they could store more than just items? Well, that's the idea behind this community-made Mega Shulker concept. Here, we can store a fully fledged build inside something like a structure block and place it wherever we'd like. And hey, we can even store mobs inside like so, giving us a lot more freedom than just some measly 27 slots. So the next time you're looking to move house, why not just actually move the house instead of just the stuff inside? Number 18. Traversing the nether is a tricky business, and the open fields of lava don't make that any easier. So if a strider isn't your style, then this method is well worth a shot. See, as coded, we get something of a lava boat to use in the second dimension. And while it's ridiculous, it's hard to say that a Frostwalker boat wouldn't be cool to try. I mean, I'd even love to use that in the overworld, let alone the nether. And being able to drift to the nether fortress in style is a great addition, no doubt. Number 19. Keeping yourself safe is a top priority in Minecraft survival. I mean, some might even call it the top priority. But how you do that is a different story. So while shields like this definitely have their place, I'd venture this human shield is a lot more fun to use. See, with a simple setup, we can summon ourselves an immortal villager buddy to block any and all oncoming shots like so, letting us survive the night with these, and leaving nary a scratch on our partner's outfit, which is a win-win if you ask me. Number 20. Breaking blocks is one of the cornerstones of Minecraft, but typically we only break those within a certain radius of the player, or at least that's how it used to be. But as it's coded here, anytime that we shoot an arrow, it breaks the blocks that it lands on, allowing us to not only mine stuff from a safe distance, but also opens up the possibility for some new minigames. And I for one would love to play a game of Spleef like this, especially using a multi-shot crossbow. Number 21. Since the early days of Minecraft mod reviews, one of the fan favorites had to be the portal gun, which is why, at least for me, it's a relief to finally have this possible in vanilla. See, by copy and pasting this, let's face it, ridiculously sized command, then we've got it fully set up to let us experience the portal gun right out of the game, letting us create the orange and blue portals that we're used to, and do so without having to type out all these command blocks ourselves. And that's a welcome mix for sure. Number 22. Note blocks can be a fairly robust tool, and plenty of clever composers have made some great music using this mechanic, but understanding all the nuances needed to make that music is a tall order. So instead, this world not only gives us a way to program proper sheet music, but also animates a piano playing the song like so, and that's definitely a welcome addition. So if you can sight read but you lack the knack for redstone, then I'm sure you'll find this tool to be music to your ears. Number 23. If you've been around for a while, you've probably seen this trick done once before. That is, if you ignite a set of TNT like so, it ignites into a heart-shaped pattern that you see here. But the dirty little secret is that this only works on Bedrock, or at least it used to. But with the help of specific command blocks, we can make this trick work in Java as well. And might I add, it looks a lot more cutesy with the new method as well, which is a nice touch for sure. Number 24. Minecraft has blocks and it has mobs, and oftentimes you don't see the two sides mix, but that changes today, since with the help of cleverly coded falling sand entities and armor stands, this Reddit user was capable of animating a proper functional jumping piston mob. And folks, this isn't done with any mods or resource packs, but in fact, it's fully possible using just command blocks or Datapack in vanilla, and the results are equal parts ridiculous and impressive to see. And honestly, this just feels like a Pixar reference waiting to happen. Number 25. Playing Minecraft on a mobile device can sometimes be a limited experience, to say the least. And that's in no small part thanks to the awkward control scheme. So to make it easier to build while you play on your phone, this user had the right idea. This way, all we need to use is a set of spawn eggs to place our pre-programmed parts of the build, like the floor tile or a wall. And if you ask me, that's gotta be the best example of working smarter, not harder. And with that, folks, have a good one, alright?